The opinions expressed in the following programs are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers nor Rogers TV.
Hi there, and welcome to Helping Durham Region. My name's Rob MacArthur, and we're a show that talks about, well, what people are doing to help other Durham Region residents. And, well, we've got a great guest today. We've got the president of Rotary Club of Whitby Sunrise, Yvonne Brady. Hello, Yvonne, and thanks for joining us on the show.
Hi, Rob. Thank you so much for having me, for having us.
There you go. Well, I am somewhat familiar with the club, but I want others to be with. So why don't you give us a little bit of a background about the Whitby Sunrise Club?
Sure. So we are one of two clubs in Whitby, and we've been going for a lot of years. We are very proud to be 103 members strong in the small community of Whitby, and we just do great things. And we are so proud to wear our yellow shirts out in the community and showcase who we are, what we can do, and who we help.
That's great. So, something we've been asking a lot of groups. So, I mean, this COVID's been a challenge for a lot of organizations, companies, and people. So what have you guys done, to get your way through to continue supporting the community like you do?
Rob, great question. And, we weren't without our own set of challenges, that's for sure. But very proud to share that we pivoted very quickly. Our member online meetings transitioned to Zoom like that so that we could still collaborate and do the great things we do. We did see, some bumps in our fundraising efforts, more so, RibFest, the big Savor the Flavor event that we've done at Deer Creek for many years. Bingo took a little dip for us as well. However, I am thrilled to share that collaboratively, everybody got together and we looked at our budget over a long term and said, what can we still do now to make sure that we service, the community with what we've got? And we continued to build on what we fondly refer to as mini fundraisers. So we did paint nights, we did a drive-in movie theater, we did a charcuterie board night. We just pushed through with whatever it took.
That's great. I mean, and it's good to engage your members in these troubled times, because I know a lot of clubs, some of them shut down. They just stopped. They couldn't get members to come out. So you've certainly kept your members to be engaged. And I've been to some of your meetings, and they're awesome meetings. So so what do you think have been some of your real successes over the last little while, COVID or non-COVID related?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've been able to do is maintain our RibFest brand in the community. So year one of COVID, we were thrilled to do RibFest to You, and this is where all our volunteers came together in our yellow shirts, and we personally delivered ribs. So that was fabulous. Year two for RibFest, we did a drive-through at the Whitby GO train station. And, on that note, Rob, I remember that day vividly, and it's an incredibly fond memory for me. But I sat back and I watched our club come together for one of the very first times in person outside. And what I saw from the bigger perspective, number one, was the community and how awesome it was to have everybody come and join us. Number two, in Rotary, it was fellowship. It was singing, it was dancing. And number three, it was fundraising. So that was kind of a big hit for us, but we also still continued to do the great work of Rotary. So Partners in Service, which is a program that we have to maybe help individuals in the community with some equipment for maybe some disability needs. We continued to support Backstreet Mission with a couple of meals during COVID. We continued to support all our local charities. Nobody went without. Mm-hmm. So we very successfully were able to do all that. And on top of things like grocery delivery for seniors, bottle drives, and just kind of keeping our brand out in the community and so everybody knows who we are.
Yeah, and I follow you guys on social media, and also you went and did some shoveling for elderly people that couldn't do it, which is awesome.
We absolutely did. And that was more recent with that very large snowstorm we had.
Yep,
And
that's right.
it was a simple sentence, who can help? And within a couple of hours, we had snow blowers, shovels, and it was Rotary at work.
Right. So what projects have you got going on right now?
Well, we have lots of things in the pipeline. I have to tell you and the community that 2022 is going to be one heck of a party coming from the Rotary Club of Whitby Sunrise. So we have a golf tournament coming up in May. We have Ribfest, save the date, July 8th to 10th. We're going to work on Winterfest and Savor the Flavor for 2023. We're going to be in every parade. We're going to clean Whitby trails. We have also have the honor of being the first organization to serve the first meal at St. Vincent's Kitchen when they open up their doors on March 10th.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's great. Yes. So really for your club, it's the status quo, just moving forward, keep involving the community. And I mean, if the community wanted to find out more about the club and see what you do and possibly get involved, how could they go about that?
We are all over social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as well as our website page. And again, these yellow shirts are our brand. We love to have people come out and join us. So there's a ton of ways to find us. We are going to be 108 members strong over the next week or so.
Wow.
So we're everywhere.
That's right. So, and what, I mean, that's a lot of growth, and a lot of clubs aren't having that growth. What do you attribute that to?
We just keep the energy up. We are still truly believe in what we do with our community. We're still caring and sharing. The ideas coming from our members that come from the community on how we can be involved is beyond incredible. Right. So we've just been able to keep up the energy, fellowship. So we still laugh and joke around. We stay connected at every opportunity that we can.
Right. And you do, I've noticed you're one of the clubs that do a lot of things together. The one thing I noticed was like a trail walk. What's some other things like that you do just as a group?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've done a few hikes. We have another one coming up. We've done socials where we play silly games together, which is great. We do something, we do an auction amongst our members where there are experiences that we purchase as members that go towards our fundraising efforts. So, we've got a euchre tournament coming up. We've got some great things. That's
awesome. And of course, Rotary, I mean, now you've sponsored, what are some of the charities and groups and causes that you've helped out through the last couple of years?
Yeah, too many to list. However, off the top of my head, things like the Muslims Women's House in Whitby. Okay. We do a lot of work for them and with them. Hearth Place, Lakeridge Health, Grandview. We're heavily involved. We made a substantial donation to the new hospice that's going up in Whitby. Okay. The Ontario Shores TAMI program. It is just vast. You send us a request and we will absolutely review it.
That's wonderful. Now, tell us, Partners in Service, because I was aware of that when I was a member of the Ajax Club, and that sort of gets down to the personal level. Maybe you can explain that a bit more to people that might be interested in needing some help. And I know some other clubs are getting really down to personal, and they need medical equipment or walkers or things like that. Maybe give us a bit more information on that.
Sure. So we collaborate with a few clubs in Durham Region. And we take applications from residents who are in need of some of this equipment to make their lives better, healthier, and more joyful. We also have partnerships with some of the local seniors residents and nursing homes where they donate the equipment as well. Okay. We have some great Rotarians who actually store it. And then we have another group of great Rotarians who will actually personally deliver it and set it up for you. So it is an application process, and they can certainly reach out to us for sure.
Okay, and now your meetings, you like every other Rotary Club, you have speakers and organizations that come in, or people with stories. If there's somebody out there looking that maybe like to come in and tell the club their story, how could they go about that?
that is a great opportunity as well. So they can certainly email us at on our website. All our email addresses are there. We would love to have some speakers and tell us what you're doing in the community and maybe let us know how we can help you. We've had some great speakers. Zoom has given us the opportunity to have some great speakers all over the world.
Right.
To try to improve the conditions for not only those of us at home, but those of us on an international level as well.
Right. So, and for some people who may not know, and I can't believe that they wouldn't know, but maybe get into a bit about what Rotary International does. And, you know, because of Whitby, you're doing a lot of things, but it certainly is beyond Whitby.
It is big and beyond. So it definitely is 100% volunteer organization that is international. So at the international level, we look for projects that are going to help the world, again, be a better place. So water. We are so blessed to have water, hygiene, education, personal hygiene. There are a gamut of things and projects that go on at the international level at Rotary. However, interestingly enough, the clubs are so actively involved in coming together. So one of the great examples that we had recently during COVID was the explosions that happened at the Beirut Hospital.
Okay.
That all came together. It was destroyed. One of our members led the project, connected with a bunch of other clubs, and we were able to raise a substantial amount of money to help rebuild that hospital.
Wow, that's great. Well, it's interesting because your club was described to me as one of the most dynamic Rotary clubs in the district. And it's, I mean, there's a district that you're in, but there's the Durham Region Rotary clubs really seem to work a lot together, more than I've seen in a lot of other areas. And so you obviously get along and work together on projects because Durham Region is a big region.
Yeah, absolutely. Another great point. So the Durham Region Rotary Club presidents actually get together, you know, a few times a year, and we talk about, we share ideas and how we help. Like, you will probably see me at other Rotary Clubs events in my yellow shirt supporting their own initiatives. So we are definitely all in this together.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We're going to probably be wrapping up soon, but anything else you'd like to share or tell us, you know, that let the community know out there?
Yeah, you know, I think one of the things that's near and dear is, you know, Rotary is a 100% volunteer driven organization. So this is a group of amazing people who dedicate their time, their vocation, and their resources to help others. On top of that, our friends and our families are so important to what we achieve and to our successes in every day. So we certainly invite people to do that for us. And, you know, as far as the Rotary Club of Whitby Sunrise goes, you know, I would encourage everybody to, again, look out for the sea of yellow shirts in the community. These are our members of the Rotary Club of Whitby Sunrise. Don't ever hesitate to join in on the fun wherever or whenever you see us. So,
all right. That's awesome. Thanks so much, Yvonne, for joining us. I've been talking to Yvonne Brady, the president of the Rotary Club of Whitby Sunrise. And you've been watching Helping Durham Region. My name's Rob MacArthur, and we'll be right back after this.
This program is brought to you by NBA League Pass. More dunks, more slams, more to love, live in HD. NBA League Pass, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack.
This is the last move we're making, right?
Right.
It's a fixer-upper. That means we can make it whatever we want.
You know, there are rumors about that well.
What do you know about the well?
Old Tom said it was a curse.
Did you make a wish for someone to still be here?
I started over once too. Different. Get ready.
The Regulars, The guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
This is Rogers TV.
Hi there, and welcome back to Helping Durham Region. My name's Rob MacArthur, and well, as we said, we talk to people that are helping Durham Region residents, what they're doing in these times, and maybe how you can help them. There was a recent article in one of the papers about an individual that was providing virtual services for seniors to help them through this thing. We thought that was amazing. So my guest now is Jen Tyndall, the owner of At Your Service. Jen, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks, Rob. Sorry, I'm just going to clarify. It's Art Your Service.
Art Your Service, all right. Yep.
That's all good.
That's right. Yep, that's good. And I need better eyes, but Art Your yes, definitely want to have Art Your Service. So, Jen, give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Yeah, so I have an arts background, and I worked for many years at Harbourfront Centre in Toronto, downtown Toronto. And I also worked with seniors. So when I left Harbourfront Centre, I knew I wanted to work with seniors in some way. So I just sort of was thinking about different ways that I could serve my elderly people. And one of the ideas was programs for seniors and events for seniors. And so pre-pandemic, I was doing events for seniors in live events. And one we had at the Robert McLaughlin Gallery, actually, in Oshawa. And we had people come in from retirement homes. We had seniors that were living alone around the area come in, and we had live instructors, and we had a curated art talk, and it was a wonderful event. And we were planning on doing that all over the GTA, was having these events, because we knew seniors were looking for more connection. And this is pre-pandemic, and there was a lot of studies about how lonely people were getting, especially when they're still living at home. So we were trying to figure out how to connect everybody and do it in a sort of creative way. So we were thinking about doing a big event at Union Station, actually, in June 2020, and we all know what happened then. And so nothing happened because, of course, we were all locked down. But we thought a great idea would be to put it online and see what would happen. So we did an hour, and we called it the Golden Hour. And we had almost 300 people show up to see things like a dance experience, an Elvis impersonator who zoomed in from Windsor. We had a cultivating gratitude session, and we had all wonderful, wonderful things all in 1 hour. And because so many people showed up in June and they were seniors, I knew they were taking that leap with technology, and they were desperate to connect. So I thought, there might be something here. Yep. So then I thought about how I could do this on a more regular basis and give them what they're obviously asking for, which was connection and activity and stimulation and, a reason to get up in the day. Right. And a lot of the times, I started in August, full-time, August 2020, and I deliver 2 classes a day, 5 days a week. Every morning is a fitness class or a movement class, and every afternoon is an art class or a virtual museum tour or a lecture or an author talk. We just had a paint class with Artist Palette Durham. They do paint nights for us as well. So we do all those things every day. And I'm told again and again that this is giving them purpose, gets them out of bed in the morning, maybe into some pants. And sometimes our socials, or the ladies say they put on some lipstick for us. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah. And so now we've been doing it for 1.5 years.
Wow. It's funny you mention that, because I drive transit part-time in Port Hope, and most of the riders are seniors. Mm-hmm. And some of them are getting on the bus just to talk to somebody. Yeah. And their senior centers are not open, and there's things like that. So I can really see, the need for it out there, and, keeping them engaged and giving them something to do. So, so when did you did this for about 1.5 years, and how did you get the word out to the seniors? Well, bit by bit. I mean, I started with 20 eager seniors in the beginning. They were my
guinea pigs. And then with them, I got their feedback about good times, for example, to have sessions. And word of mouth is really big with us. Usually people get their friends on. We also do service other senior centers around Ontario who maybe aren't big enough to have their own virtual programming, so they use ours. And so I would say our biggest way of growth is word of mouth, because people love the service, and so they just tell their friends about it and they get on as well.
Right. Okay. And so it's all live now. Do you record them and make them available to watch? Sort of like pay-per-view type thing, not that you're paying, but you can watch that.
We have a very robust library, which my partner does for me. Thank God goodness, because it's a lot of work. But yeah, we within 24 hours are up there in the library, and so you can go if you miss Pilates class, you can do that on Saturday if you want, or yoga, or Funky Fall Moves is one of our other classes. So yeah, you can do it anytime you want on demand, like pay-per-view.
Wow, that's amazing. So, and are you always looking for new things to do? Like, do you add new programs regularly?
All the time. We did a couple of virtual tours with the Oshawa Museum, for example. It was awesome. They showed us the Victorian Christmas when it was all done up for us.
Right.
We also partner with the Oshawa Library to put on a creative aging books and ideas series every month. So we always have another new author come in, and they're always talking about aging, or their books are about the aging process, or they're aging themselves, and they want to talk about how their life as an author has changed as they grew older. Right.
Now, so seniors, what do they have to do to take part in this?
Well, we are a subscription service, so the price is $19.99 per month.
Right.
But those that are on a budget and can't afford it, we have several subscriptions set aside that they can come for free, because we want everybody to have access. Anybody that's interested in joining, we want to have them no matter what their budget is.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So it's sort of a what you can afford type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And so where do you see the future with this going?
Well, I do have some people, mostly is Ontario, but I do have some people in BC and Alberta, and the 10:30 classes are a little early for them.
Yes, it would be.
So maybe some more staggered times of different classes, for example, just so that, everybody can have a chance to do the live classes and not just the library. Mm-hmm. I also have a big connection with a lot of students that are doing recreational therapy. And so right now they're doing some free classes for me, and they're doing them specific for long-term care and retirement homes. So for this February, right now, all my classes are open to long-term care and retirement homes because of the staff shortages they're dealing with right now. And also because of all these students that can't go into their placements. So they want to do some programming for me. So they're free right now. So if anybody wants to see a part of Art Your Service through those channels, they're welcome to stop by.
Now, once the lockdown stop and things sort of get back to normal, do you see this as a regular offering? Because there are some seniors that still aren't very mobile and that type of thing. So it would sound like something that could continue on past lockdowns. Absolutely. In fact, when we started doing when things were lessened there for a while, people still came on because they've already made that leap through their technology. And now they understand the convenience of it, especially in the middle of winter. Nobody wants to get into their car to go anywhere and have to deal with snow or the cold or falling or any of those things. So they can just simply hop on in their living room and get their exercise that way, or their community. Right. Okay. And it's interesting because and if one thing, the technological knowledge of our seniors is going way up. I have parents in their 80s and they're in social media and, they're Zooming with the family and things like that. Have you had some issues with seniors, or, do you offer a little bit of support if they're not quite technically there, that type of thing? Yep, I do offer support, and we do have some tech sessions as well, just to help people get on board. And most people are pretty good. And it's because I think a necessity, and they had to in order to connect with their friends and family. So they got over, and plus Zoom is just very accessible. And I also make everything very accessible. Like every morning they get an email with just a button in the email saying press here at 10:30. And then they arrive in the waiting room to their fitness class or their creative class, either way. So there's not a lot of scrambling around. They don't have to worry about passcodes or anything like that. So there's a lot. We try to make it as easy as possible because, we've all had technology frustration. And and as we age, it gets worse. Yeah, it does. And I think, for remote areas as well, this could be something that, I mean, and I know bands and they've tried to have concerts virtually and stuff like that. And I don't know, watching a rock concert virtually, not so much, but certainly this type of thing. What is, in your opinion, what's been the most popular course with the seniors that you're having?
Well, they really enjoy the exercise classes. So I have to say Pilates, and we have a funky moves class on Thursday, which are our most popular classes. And also our lectures are very well populated. We had almost 50 people there the other day talking to Robert Rottenberg, who's a criminal lawyer and author in downtown Toronto, and he zoomed in. Yeah, so we get some interesting people. We also have a nutritionist that comes in and talks about sort of seniors' needs in nutrition wise.
Right.
And also the Richmond Museum. People love learning and they love seeing things, and people to be interactive and not just one way. It's not a passive experience, which is great. It's not empty calories. You're not just watching something for the sake of watching it. You're involved with it and you're interacting with it. And so people feel there's more meaning in it, I think.
Yes. Yeah. And the lectures, that would be any other interesting lecture? I mean, the ones you mentioned, but are there any other interesting lectures that people might find interesting?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to, if anybody's speaking of the talent out there in Durham, if they have something that they would be interested in sharing with the seniors, I would appreciate them getting in touch with me, because they do love these different things that we talk about. We just had actually organized by Catherine, who is a Durham entrepreneur. She is a professional organizer. She just came in last week to talk about downsizing and minimalizing your clutter. And that was very well attended, because especially as we get older, we have more stuff. And then especially if you think about, maybe minimizing or moving into a smaller space, you need to figure out what to do with all the stuff. So anyway, that was a very popular one. And I was, she gave some great tips and places to donate.
Are there any particular areas you're looking for people? Have there been requests that I mean, you mentioned if anybody's interested, but is there anything particular that you're looking for?
I love all things. I think anybody who's a nature specialist, for example, that would be great. People love to know about different flora and fauna out there, especially, I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about birds, but say there's birds, for example, or if you know about plants or horticulture, those are wonderful things that people always want to know about. But they also want to know about, I don't even know, whatever you're an expert in, please send me a note, because I can speak to them. Yeah,
it's a great way to help the seniors and things like that, because as I mentioned, the ones I'm talking to, they're looking for something, and with the seniors on the long-term care facilities, they do get shut down quicker than anybody else if there's an outbreak or things like that.
Absolutely. And what they look forward to is new people and seeing people and new ideas, because of course, especially if nobody's coming into the homes these days.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So anything else you maybe haven't mentioned that you'd like to share to let people know, or are we pretty well covered it all?
Well, I think we covered it all. If anybody wants a free trial, I give out a week free trial with no obligation. You just have to give me your email, and then you can be set up with a week of classes to see if you enjoy it.
Yeah, I think they would. I think they would. Yeah, I know. My mother used to go to bingos, but she doesn't anymore because, health reasons. So she's sitting watching sports and stuff. I might have to send my mother your address. So
I think you should send her up. I'll set her up with a free trial and she'll see if she likes it. She might be.
All righty. That sounds great. I've been talking to Jen Tyndall from Art Your Service. And Jen, thanks so much for joining us and tell about what you've been doing.
Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome. And you've been watching Helping Durham Region. My name's Rob MacArthur. I'm your host and co-producer. And our co-producers are also the Rotary Club of Ajax. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.